Good morning. So we'll continue with tenses today. I know probably you didn't get time to do the exercise. Have you done it? The tenses? Yes, sir. हाँ, मैं चालू कर दूँगी. That I'll do. Not required, right? So, if you've done the exercise, can we begin with the doubts directly? Yes? Tell me. Yesterday, there was one part of the chapter that I had not discussed. The future tenses. That's on page 6, right? So let me quickly first discuss that, and then we'll go on to the doubts in the chapter, right? Future indefinite tense, which is future, basically future tense, simple future tense, relating to any action that is expected to happen in the future. If you intend to go to school tomorrow, you'll say, I will go to school tomorrow. So, will is a normal, don't use would where you're supposed to use will. That's the most important first rule that I want to teach. When do we use would? I gave you the two instances yesterday. One is imaginary situation and one is past tense of will. Past tense of will meaning when you're reporting in reported speech. When you use past tense of will, we use would. Otherwise, don't just use it just like that. You will nahi use kriya, would use kar liya. That is wrong, right? This tense expresses an action that is to take place in the future. And whenever you have any indicator, soon, shortly, tomorrow, you will use the future tense. What is future perfect tense? Let me start the whiteboard. You remember the timeline I had drawn that day? Yes? Now, oh, where's the classic board? This is future tense. This is towards past. This is the present, right? Now, remember, this is recent past, present perfect. This is simple past. And what is this? Oh, I'm so glad you told me. Oh my God. That is epic. If this screen gets spoiled, it's coming out of my salary. You know that, right? Thank you so much. You guys have the timeline. I don't know where the stylus is today. Oh, thank you. So we have, this is present perfect, this is simple past, and this is past perfect. I'm glad you remember that. Now just think of past perfect, and here we'll have the present, future. Have I spoiled the board already? I hope not. Simple future and future perfect, the same relation that we have with past and past perfect. If you see, simple future comes later, future perfect comes before simple future, just as past perfect came before simple past. I will have completed my class by 5 p.m. tomorrow. 5 p.m. comes later. Future perfect comes before. I will have completed my class by 5 p.m. tomorrow. Again, just as past perfect came before simple past, future perfect comes before simple future. Somehow I'm not being able to write. So mark this as simple future and mark this line as future perfect. So will have. I will have completed my class by 5 p.m. tomorrow. Simple future will come later. Future perfect comes before simple future. Is everyone clear about that? Right? Just add it to your timeline. I remember I'd given you a timeline. Right? Just add it to that timeline. Sir, can you get me the classic whiteboard?
Yes.
You can reduce the speed because everyone tends to feel cold. Keep it on the lowest speed. Thank you. ये मेरे से आज गड़बड़ हो गया. Future continuous tense. When I expect the action to continue at a point of time in the future, exactly the same thing. Incomplete action continuing at a point of time. Taking the same example, I will be teaching at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Action will be continuing. Action will be incomplete. That is future continuous tense, right? It's given over here. He will be going to Pune by car today. This is an exception. When I'm expressing a future action, actually I should just be saying, he will go to Pune by car today. Why am I saying he will be going? This is accepted. It's accepted. Okay, this usage. So please mark it because it's an exception. This tense is always, that's number 2 under future continuous tense. This tense is also used to express the future indefinite tense or definite. These are terminologies, don't get confused by that. All they're saying is an action that is going to happen in the future, we do use the future continuous tense, even though it's not an incomplete action, right? So he will be going to Pune by car today, or he will go to Pune by car today. Both are correct. Don't mark it as an error. Future perfect tense, I just explained. Look at the examples. She will have already prepared food when I reach home. He will have rung up his wife before he arrives. So can you see one action is taking place before the other, both in the future, right? This tense is also used to express time expression. Time expression meaning for, since, right? He will have known her for 2 years next month. समझो next month अभी आया नहीं है. This person is calculating. I will have been teaching for 15 years next year. So I am estimating. I am saying when next year comes, I will have been teaching for 15 years. This is how you calculate. So you're saying you're predicting. So पहले ये हो रहा है, बाद में next year आ रहा है. Again, future perfect, right? Future perfect continuous when you add the ing element, when you're saying the action is continuing. I will have been teaching at this time. So you're saying the action will start before 5 p.m., will continue at 5 p.m. Moment you add continuous tense, you know it's an incomplete action. Okay? Till here, read this page, page number 6, read it and tell me if you have any doubts. Bill, huh? No. Will is future intention. When you know, at least you have an intention to go to school tomorrow. So you say, I will go to school tomorrow. If you say, I would go to school tomorrow, that's wrong. Because the moment you use would, that means you indicate something that is imaginary, which is not your intention. Look at how would is used over here. at the bottom of the page. If you work hard, you will pass. That's a reasonable prediction. That if you work hard, you will pass. That's not an imaginary situation, right? Second one, if you worked hard, you would pass. It's even better to say number 3. If you had worked hard, you would have passed. What does this mean, closed condition? The result has already come. This is talking about something that has already occurred. This implies you did not work hard and hence you did not pass. If you had worked hard, you would have passed. We did this yesterday as well in the exercises, right? One quick example that I want to share. Sometimes had is used in simple past tense. It is used in the sense of, don't confuse this with past perfect. That's what I'm trying to explain. When had is used as ate or own, then it is simple past tense. For example, I had breakfast in the morning. Now morning has passed. That means it is past tense. This gives you the indication that this is a past tense action. If it is past tense, this is not past perfect. Just because it's HAD, don't assume it's past perfect. It comes in place of ate. I ate breakfast in the morning. I had breakfast in the morning. Both can be used, right? So it is simple past. Now see what happens when I change this. Please write this down. The first sentence. I had breakfast in the morning. Now I'm going to change it to past perfect. Okay. Now if I change this to past perfect, I have to introduce another action that took place after I had breakfast, right? So I'll say I had breakfast before my son came home. 2 hads. One had is to indicate past perfect. This had is equal to 8. You imagine that this is, अब यहाँ पे 8 नहीं होगा. Imagine that this is eaten. You can replace it with eaten. You can say I had eaten breakfast before my son came. Eaten is equal to had. So don't get confused. कि दो had क्यों है? Misprint है, typo है? नहीं. It's deliberate. One had is for past perfect. The other had is for eating. Right? So write this down. This is also something that comes in the exams. Okay, we'll go on to the doubts now. Tell me. 37 to 51. मैं ना लिख लेती हूँ. बोलते जाओ. 40, 41, 56. Okay. ठीक है? I'll start.
Ma'am, 42.
42. Okay, 42. I think that's the 41 is the first one. 41. He got down from his horse and very gently took the little ones up in his big warm hands. He got down from his horse and very gently took the little ones. Is this tense correct? Yes. Got is past tense of get. Took is also past tense. Is it correct to use taken, had taken, has taken? No, right? Anybody confused that it should be had got down? No. These are simultaneous actions, 2 actions that took place in the past at the same time. So it will be past past. 41 should be no improvement, I think. No, it is no improvement. किसका डाउट था ये? आपका? समझ में आया? So you look for the clue in the rest of the sentence, है ना? 42 is marked B. Yes. Whose doubt was 42? I think online someone said.
Yes, ma'am.
So Utsavi, read 42. Read the sentence.
Having had in the US Embassy for a long time, Mr. Gupta has met many prominent.
Personalities. Having had what? There's no object. So having had makes no sense. There is a mistake in the original sentence, right? You're talking about that person being in the US for a long time. So having been, that is option B. So having been in the US for a long time, blah, blah, blah. Next, 46. I had to reach to the factory. You don't use to after had to. Reach is correct. Reach के बाद जो to आया, that is wrong. I had to reach the factory. Okay, no to required after reach. So that is one mistake. 46, the answer is correct. I had to reach. Now, why is there the had word over here? Can someone tell me why is it had to? What does had to imply? No, yes, it is past tense, but my question is why have I used the expression had to? What does the expression had plus to? He must. Compulsion. I have to do this. I had to reach. मतलब उसका कोई जरूरी काम था. He must reach there, right? थोड़ा गर्म पानी ला दोगे? Thank you. I had to reach the factory a little early today. 46 is A. 48. I am definitely late. The bus will have left the bus stop by the time I reach there. What comes first? The bus will leave first, future perfect tense, and later on, I will reach. Remember the future perfect diagram that I was trying to draw? है ना? This is towards future. This is future perfect. The first action. First, pay attention. The bus will have left. Yeah, why is there a doubt? And I will reach later. That is simple future. Right? So the bus will have left by the time I reach there. Hence, I think 48 should be D. No improvement because the sentence is correct. Huh? He is estimating. He is estimating that I'll take 5 minutes to reach the bus stop. By the time I reach there, the bus will have already left. Would have, मैंने वही बोला ना, if I use would, that is वो improbable, imaginary. That if I were the prime minister of the country, I would have initiated these reforms. That kind of imaginary, not this kind of imaginary. Okay, 48, 56. 56, 57 भी है? Okay. She talks as if she were mad. Were. She's not mad. पागल जैसे बात करती है. हम लोग हिंदी में नहीं बोलते पागल जैसे बात करती है. पागल थोड़ी है वो तो हम इमेजिन कर रहे हैं, हम ऐसे ही बोल रहे हैं. She's not actually insane, right? So we cannot say was. It's not like she was mad in the past and now she's not. So she were mad. She talks as if she were mad. 56 should be C. Got it? Huh? She talks as if she is mad. You know why it sounds right? Because colloquially we say that. बोलचाल में हम वही बोलते हैं. And also because we think in Hindi and we talk in English. Because English is second language for us. So we will think in our mother tongue. है ना? तो हम हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? पागल जैसे बात करती है. तो जैसे is he current. But that's not how English works. Right? Yes, at the back. Can you please come in the front? So you stop talking. Anybody I see talking, I will pull and ask him to come in front. Okay. 57. I order her about as if she's not my wife. I'm imagining her to be my wife and I'm ordering her about. है ना? Very quite sexist, by the way. But anyway, 57 is thank you so much. I order her about as if she were my wife. Again, imaginary. Imaginary. Henny. She's not actually my wife, but I order her about. I imagine her that she's my wife and I order her about. किसने बनाया ये sentence? Anyway, 57, 61. I want to discuss 60 as well. Mr. Sinha, because there is some confusion about number 60. Some people say that why isn't it past perfect? Why can't it be Mr. Sinha had helped us more than he helped his own students? That option is not there. Suppose there is an option A. If I change it to had helped, would that be better? Why? Tell me. Are you implying that first he helped us and then he helped his own students? If that is the implication, then yes. If the implication is that he had helped us first and then he helped his own students, but that is unlikely, na? It's unlikely that he will help non-students first and then he will help his own students. That's unlikely. So I prefer the sentence the way it is. And the option I think is A. 60, the answer is A. Please confirm. नहीं, ये तो गलत है. Please mark that wrong. Helps तो हो ही नहीं सकता because the sentence begins with help. So already the past tense framework has been given to us. We can't challenge the question, na? If it had been helps in the first verb, then it could have been helps later on. That it is a universal truth. It's a habitual action, right? But that's not the case. Therefore, C cannot be the answer. Change the answer to A. The closest answer is A, given the options. Okay. So I'm assuming that these are two simultaneous actions that took place in the past. Okay? 61. Yes. Write down this expression, lest they should fail. This is something you have to learn. Lest means, write this down. Lest is equal to if not. Okay. Not is already included in the word lest. So never use not with lest. Okay. So if they worked hard, lest they should fail. Lest के बाद आता है dot 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 should and then you get the verb, whatever the verb is. Should will come with lest, compulsory. Lest dot 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 should and then the verb. Please learn this. Okay. ये convention है. This is like an idiom. Like in idioms, you can't change words. So this is something to be learned. Yesterday also I gave you an idiom. It is high time you studied. Now why not study? But that's the way the verb is. It's high time you studied. Okay. Or high time you started studying is also correct. But you will use with high time, it is time, you use the past tense of the verb. And with lest, you use should. Therefore, the answer is C, 61. Okay. Any other doubts? 54. If they had left early, they would have caught the train. They did not leave early. They missed the train.
Why not would have?
Whose question is this? Raise your hand. Yes. No. See, go to the previous page. Go to page number 9. Not 9, where the notes end. See, page 7 at the top. If you had worked hard, you would have passed. This is a set expression. You have to learn it this way. It's the same thing. It implies you did not work hard, you did not pass. We did not leave early, we missed our train. Okay? So this is a set expression. Any others quickly? Already Vanshika told me that she goes out for a walk. 63 would be a regular action, goes out for a walk every morning. Yes, 64. 64, can you tell me? What's your name? Yes, 64. Meets or met or had met? Which one? Had met, because that comes first. And she told later. This is an example of indirect speech using past perfect. Right? We will be doing this more in detail in the reported speech chapter. But you can see that this told part is simple past and the had met is past perfect. Any other doubt quickly? 71 I want to discuss. Please underline the word now. Now indicates it is continuing, present continuous, is rising. So because of the word now, you know it is rising. Okay? It's an incomplete action. Okay, any other doubts? No? Can I move on? Vocabulary. That day I had done word roots with you. Remember? Did you do the exercise? It was given as homework. Nahi kiya. Kiya. Huh? Okay, opened page 130. Not a break. 130. In my book it's 130. Can you check the 130? Okay, fine. Yes. Can you see? Ambule, A-M-B-U-L, to walk, to move, ambulance, ambulance, ambulant, anim, A-N-I-M, life, spirit. Quickly go through the chapter. I will explain wherever auto, like auto is very common. Auto means self, something that runs on auto. We say this, right? Auto means self. So what is an autograph? Signature that you're giving to someone. Okay. An auto rickshaw, a rickshaw that runs on its own. Automation. Automation are things that run on their own. You can add all those words. The words are not there. Automatic is given. From automatic, automation. Ben, B-E-N-E stands for good. They've given, write down benefit. The word benefit you can add over there. You can add the word root B-O-N is connected to B-E-N. So B-O-N and then write bonus. These are words learned together. B-E-N-B-O-N. Bonus. Benefit. What is a cataclysm? A flood, a disaster. Right? Catastrophe, catabolism, catalyst. Catalyst, science students would know. Something that hastens the speed of the reaction. But in metaphorical terms, it means something that causes a turning point. Something that changes the course of the world event. For example, you can say Ukraine, Russia is a catalyst in the political order today. It's changed a lot of things as we see it. Side, I find number 9, C-I-D-E, side. See, side means to kill or side is to die. So there is infanticide, uxoricide, maritricide, patricide, matricide, fratricide. You can add, there's one very notable, suicide, pesticide. killing of pests. The complicated words diye hain, but what about the normal ones, right? Suicide, pesticide, killing pests, what else? Homicide. Genocide. Genocide is mass killing. What, you know Hitler? So how he killed the Jews? Gas chamber. Genocide, right? Oh, so there's an interesting word over here. Baapre, यहाँ पे तो pen भी आ गया. They've given the word loquacious. L-O, क्या है? L-O-Q-U-A-C-I-O-U-S. L-O-Q or L-O-C. It's L-O-C or L-O-Q stands for speaking. So someone who's loquacious is very talkative. And from LOC, you get many words connected to talking. For example, have you heard of this in school? Elocution. Eloquent writing. What is eloquent writing? Very expressive. Very expressive is eloquent. Is this root given to you? Let's see. Go to the L section. L-M-N, L-O-Q. They've given LOC as place, but LOC also means to talk. LOC, LOQ, right? And you have many words, eloquent, elocution. Have you heard of a ventriloquist? Who is a ventriloquist? I think we have one in class, ventriloquist. Ventriloquists are people who can throw their voice to other creatures. So, you know, you've seen those people who sit with puppets and it appears as if the puppet is talking. So the ventriloquist throws his voice to the puppet. So कुछ students जब बोलते हैं ना तो पता ही नहीं चलता कि बोल कहाँ से रहे हैं. Voice कहीं और से आ रही है. So that is a ventriloquist. Again, it is to do, I can't write today for some reason. It is L-O-Q-U-I-S-T. Throwing your voice, a ventriloquist. Again, from the same word root. Mark number 17 as important. Cred. Cred. Credibility. Credibility. Cred is to do with believe. So when you sell goods on credit, you are trusting the person that that person is going to repay you. So it is a belief. And then you have creditors. Yes, creditors who have believed in you. Then you have credible. What is the meaning of credible? Believable. So to provide believable evidence is to provide credible evidence. Then write down credulous. C-R-E-D-U-L-O-U-S. Credulous. Who can give me the meaning of credulous? Huh? बिल्कुल सही, एकदम सही. Credulous is someone who believes very easily, who is gullible. Write down gullible, G-U-L-L-I-B-L-E, gullible. Naive, N-A-I-V-E, naive. I've given you 3 words for the definition he gave. Someone who believes very easily, जिसको बुद्धू बनाना बहुत आसान है ना? कुछ भी बोलो वो मान जाता है. Innocent is in the positive sense, but credulous is in the negative sense, because he is too eager to believe. उसको जो एकदम हम बोलते हैं ना कि भोला है ये, कुछ भी बोलो मान जाता है. Naive, 3 words. If you are laughing and talking, you're missing out, because vocab is very boring and dry as it is. I'm making it interesting for you, trying to. Naive, gullible, credulous. 3 words you learn together. Okay? And opposite, Like your dad, incredulous. वो कोई भी चीज नहीं बिलीव करता, तुम कुछ भी उसको बोलते नहीं, बकवास है ना, नहीं तुमको तो कुछ भी नहीं पता, बकवास. Incredulous. Dads are always incredulous. Whatever you say, they will not believe it. नहीं तुम्हें नहीं पता, right? Incredulous. Now credible is believable. What that was that movie, na? Amazing Incredible Spider-Man. Why was it incredible? Because he was unbelievable. Opposite of believable. So if you learn words like this, it gets interesting because you're connecting it somehow. Credit, creditor, anything else I'm forgetting? Credit card, you know, that you know already. Credence, yes, write down that word. That's given in your book, you can underline it. Credence, belief that something is true or valid. See, number 15. This has to be learned by heart. This is definitely part of your syllabus. CRACY. CRACY refers to government. So you have democracy, autocracy, theocracy. Theo refers to religion. If theo is religion, can you see that from theo you have, who is an atheist? One who does not believe in God, atheist, from the word theo. And just now, what did we learn? Theocracy. Theocracy is, it used to exist in India a long time back, when not in India, actually in other countries more than India, where the priest or the pope, they would rule the country, right? That was theocracy. Who is an agnostic? If we did atheist, who is an agnostic? AGNOSTIC, agnostic. Write it down. Someone who questions the presence of God. He's not saying God does not exist. He is not a believer either. A believer is called a theist. 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 Okay. He is not an atheist. He is saying, show me the proof. I don't know whether God exists. Show me the proof. So that is an agnostic. A person who has agnostic beliefs, right? Theocracy, plutocracy, oligocracy, monarchy. Again, ARCHY. That ARCHY stands for rule, rule and order. What is anarchy? Can you read in the corner? Your neighbor. No, not you, in front of you. He's a nice smiling face. Padho. Cheerful fellow. Padho. Anarchy. He doesn't know where the word is. Someone please help him. Do you know?
Similar to
Pura to padho. Anarchy means lawlessness. Okay. Keep reading. Read that entire list.
similar to homocracy.
फिर next पढ़ते जा बेटा. तुम आगे आ जाओ, हमारी हंसी बंद हो जाएगी, तुम इधर आ जाओ. Gerontocracy. Gerontocracy refers to old age people who are ruling the country, which is true also in our country. In our country, all politicians are above 60. Basic qualification. You have to be above 60. I'm kidding. There's no qualification, but ultimately it turns out like that, right? So if you know that gerontocracy refers to old age, GERO, do you know what is geriatrics? Do you know what is geriatrics? Old age people, geriatrics. And pediatrics is younger children. So you know that PD stands for related to children. GER stands for, Gero stands for old people. Gerocracy, ruled by old, gerontocracy, ruled by old people, and geriatrics, a specific division of medicine that is to deal with elderly people, right? Meritocracy, on merit. Kleptocracy, do you know who is a kleptomaniac? Who's a kleptomaniac? Someone who is, write it down, it's very interesting. Habitual thief. It's like a disease. Kleptomania. Mania is disease. Klepto is to steal. So kleptomania is habitually a thief. मतलब चलते चलते ऐसे उठा लेता है, उसको पता नहीं चलता, उसको मन करता है कि चलो ये पेन उठा ले, ये उठा ले. Right? Now kleptocracy, thief. Klepto means thief, it's written. So kleptocracy means when the government is run by thieves. That's really ideal, isn't it? Bureaucracy. You know the IAS officers, your IRS officers, they're all the bureaucracy. Aristocracy is nobility. Royal. Aristocracy means run by royal families, noble families. Hyper, number 28, 26, 28. So I think I can go on to the exercise now. This you'll have to... Is there any exercise? No exercise? Okay. Then chapter 1. Chapter 1. Huh? Irrelevance to God. Agnostic only. When you're questioning. Blasphemy is disrespectful to God. For example, some paintings, these right-wing extremists, they find it blasphemous. They find it sacrilege. You are disrespecting God. Like if you've heard of Salman Rushdie. Have you heard of Salman Rushdie? Salman Rushdie wrote a book called The Satanic Verses. And there was a fatwa issued against him because apparently he hurt the sentiments of the Muslim community. So the Muslim community issued a fatwa against him. This was, I think, 25 years ago. And 25 years later, when he was giving a lecture in a US university, someone ran from the audience down the aisle, like you guys are sitting, someone just ran down, came and stabbed him. And he became blind in one eye. And he had to, that was after 25 years, the fatwa was actually implemented. But that didn't stop him. And he's come out with another book. So life continues. Chalo, that is blasphemy. Okay. Chapter 1, one-word substitution. There is an entire list. This is something you have to go through on your own. Today I'm doing the exercise. Start. Straight away exercise. Because मैं अभी पढ़ाऊंगी, देख रहे हो? कुछ सुन रहा है? अच्छा. Not ideal. Change it to disrespectful to God. Change it to disrespectful to God. It's not irrelevant. It's correct. It's irreverent. Irreverent means disrespectful. सही लिखा है. "22 questions. I'm giving you 4 minutes. Start. One word substitution, page 13. And then we'll go back to grammar. I need to do parts of speech with you today. Start. ये ले लो. Don't make marks. Write the answer in your book. Okay? क्या हुआ? आपके पास बुक नहीं है? बुक है? नहीं है? Come and share with him. Quickly, quickly come. Share among yourselves. Those of you who don't have books. Who doesn't have books? Raise your hand. You don't have. You can share with him. क्या हुआ? What's your name? हो गया? Then stop talking. Yes, those of you online, we are doing exercise 1 of the vocab book. One word substitution. So this is exercise 1, vocab. And you have 4 minutes to complete it. There are 22 questions in the first exercise. That one book between the four of you? One book between the three of you? तो joint venture क्यों कर रहे हो? Take out your notebook and write the answers. Whose book is this?
Fine.
So you take out the notebook and write your answers. Yes. Which question are you on? Which question were you discussing?
इनको ये लिंग्विस्ट वाला बता रहा था
क्यों बता रहे थे? मत बताओ.
इनको बाइलिंगुअल और लिंग्विस्ट में डिफरेंस समझा रहा था
Bi मतलब two. Bi means two languages. Done. Done. Can we discuss the answers? चलो. तुम share करो ना उनके साथ. Put one bench back and share it with them. I'm calling out the answers. Mark. 1 is C, 2 is D for Delhi, 3, 4 and 5 are B for Bombay, 6 is also B for Bombay, 7 is A, 8 is C, 9 is B for Bombay, 10 is A, 11 D for Delhi, 12 is A, 13 D for Delhi, 14 A, 15 B for Bombay, 16 A, 17 D for Delhi, 18 B for Bombay, 19 C, 20 B for Bombay, 21 D for Delhi, 22 A. Okay. Now, even in these questions, you can use root words. What does omni mean? 22. Omni means all. All. So, omnipresent is someone who's present everywhere. Like we say, God is omnipresent. What does scient mean? S-C-I-E-N-T. Scient. Knowledge. So from scient, omniscient, someone who knows everything. From scient, you have science, scientific, all the same root word, S-C-I-E-N-T. Only problem with root words is because English is such a mishmash, it has many languages wrapped up in it, words from many languages. So sometimes the same word combination may not mean the same thing. But sometimes when you're stuck in a situation, you don't know what it means. Sometimes word roots can be useful. It depends on how much you practice. Okay. Epitome, 21. The first word. Epitome is perfect example of something. Epistle, I think, is a letter. An epitaph is an inscription on a monument in remembrance of a person who is dead, like epitaph on a dead soldier, right? Epilogue is a part of the book, like you have the prologue and you have the epilogue. 20. A man who doesn't drink alcohol, that is easy. B. Teetotaler. Person who does not believe in the existence of God. I gave you this answer. Taste. But who is a heretic? Heretic kisko bolte hain? I'm also not completely sure. Let me look it up. Heretic, I think, is someone who disrespects God. 1 minute. I'm looking it up. Heresy. Write down. A person holding opinions at odds. A person holding an opinion that is at odds or that is contrary to what is generally accepted. And if everyone says left, this person will say right. Okay, so that is heresy, or a person with that belief is called heretic. Commencements of this is easy. B. 18 is B, na? Alliteration. Baba, black sheep. B. Hater of knowledge and learning. MIS means to hate. MIS. So if you know MIS means to hate, then you can learn many words from MIS. MIS means to hate. GYN stands for women. It means women. So you know the doctors related to women's health are called gynecologists, right? So misogyn, you can work this out. If you know that mis means to hate. So misogyn is someone who hates women. Now I'll give you another root. ANTHRO, anthro. Anthro stands for human beings. All human beings. Anthro, right? So you might have heard this term, anthropomorphism. Anthropomorphism is personification. Human beings. When you're giving human attributes to something. Misanthrope. Who is a misanthrope? Against all human beings. क्या था वो टर्म जो गॉन्टलेट लेके आधे लोगों को मार दिया, क्लिक किया, क्या था वो? He is a misanthrope. What is his name? Thanos. Thanos is a misanthrope. Safe to say that he killed half of humanity, right? Misanthrope. Thanos. So misogynist, whatever. Any mis, and you know, it is some kind of hatred. Agnostic, no. These are all easy. Any doubts? No? I'll go on to grammar. Chalo. I know you don't have the printouts for the next chapter because today's class was unexpected, but I'll give you the notes. You can just take them down in your notebook. We're moving on to nouns, pronouns. Okay. Parts of speech. If you have the book, open to parts of speech, noun, pronoun. Page 20. Parts of speech. Do you have the book? You have the printout? Oh, great. Have you all got the printout then? Parts of speech ki sirf aapko mila. Do you have the book or the printout? Doesn't matter. I will not be referring to the book anyway much. I'll be giving my own notes. Okay, just write them down. First of all, parts of speech are all the basic parts of noun. Quite quickly. Noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection. 8 of them. What are adverbs at the back? Yes, you're wearing, yes, spectacles, corner. Yes, आप ही को बोल रही हूँ. नहीं, आपके आगे. पर से हटा दिया चश्मा. That was it. Anyway, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the first person in front of you. Bolo, what is an adverb? Adverb. Work it out. You know what's a verb. Verb is an action word. Adverb will be something that adds meaning to the verb. Give me an example. Okay, so you're saying that the person moves fast. So if I say the person moves fast, I don't need to say fastly. Better. I don't need to say fastly, right? Because it's not required that every adverb will take ly. In school, we were taught that ly words are adverbs. It's broadly true, but there are some exceptions. For example, the sentence you just used. He moved fast. Write it down. He moved fast. Fast is describing how he moved. Not necessary. You will not use ly over there, in fact. We are doing parts of speech, chapter 1, noun and pronoun, which begins with a recap of parts of speech. Do you see that list over there? So I'm just doing a quick recap. Okay. So adverbs are words that describe verbs. Adverbs are words that describe verbs, that add to the meaning of verbs, that add to the meaning of adjectives. Continue. That add to the meaning of adjectives, that add to the meaning of other adverbs. Three functions of adverbs. Three functions. They add to the meaning of verbs. He moved fast. Describe other adjectives and describe other adverbs. He's a smart boy. He's a very smart boy. Very adverb. Okay. He moves fast. She moves very fast. Very. Another adverb. Fast is also an adverb. Very is also an adverb. Okay. What is an interjection? Last bench. Yes. Interjection किसको बोलते हैं? Take a guess. That is conjunction. Connects is conjunction. Interjection is, write down, strong emotion. Any words that express strong emotion are interjections. For example, alas, hurrah, cheers. When you're expressing strong emotion and you generally use an exclamation mark with such words, that is interjection. Okay? Conjunctions are words that connect sentences or connect to things, connect to ideas. They're connectors. Simply put, they are connectors, right? Nouns are naming words. Nouns are words that give names, whether it's an emotion, whether it's a place, whether it's a person, a thing, whatever. And I'm sure you're familiar with pronoun, proper noun, common noun. So proper nouns are special names. Special names are proper nouns. Common nouns, as the word suggests, are common class of things like bottle, cup, remote, paper, boys, girls, people. These are common nouns. Common nouns are used with small p, small letter, and proper nouns or special nouns begin with capital letter. Punctuations are also tested. So punctuations you have to note, right? So capital, there's a separate chapter also on punctuations, but proper nouns begin with capital letter, right? Collective nouns. I'm going on to collective nouns. I'd started collective nouns yesterday. Collective nouns are nouns in which things are taken together to be one, like herd, team, jury. When a group of things are taken to be one, crowd, many people. You must have heard this word, flock. So many sheep taken together is a flock of sheep. A flight of birds, a murder of crows. There are these weird terms like they'll say a school of fish. Then they'll say a murder of crows. then it is a pod of dolphins. कुछ अजीब अजीब भी हैं. List learn करना पड़ेगा. Okay, because that's what examiners have fun with, the unusual ones. So you'll have to learn it, right? Abstract nouns. Abstract nouns are nouns that cannot be seen, cannot be touched, cannot be felt, but they exist because they're names of emotions like goodwill. Goodwill of a company, it exists, but you cannot touch it. It's a name. It has value. It sells in the market, but cannot be touched. Intangible asset. So that is abstract noun. Am I the only one feeling hot? Think you guys are comfortable? तो फिर रहने दो. ठीक है. Abstract noun. Yes. Now nominative case, it's written in your books. For those of you who don't have the book, in the book they have used this term. Nominative. Nominative means, write down, subjective. Subjective means, I taught you subject earlier. Coming in place of subject. Coming in place of subject is subjective. Coming in place of the next one, accusative. Accusative. Next to accusative, write down objective. Objective case. Coming in place of object. So, if noun or pronoun is used as the subject, it is called nominative or subjective case. He called me. I will not say him called me. I have to say he called me because he, she, they, it, you, these can be used in place of subjects. But him, her, them, me, us, these are objects. So she called me, not she called I, right? I will not use I. So there are a lot of, now who is subject or who is object? Who did this? Subject. Who wrote on the board with a marker pen? Subject. So who is a subject? And I gave this to whom? I gave this to you. So you are the object. Whom? Whom did I give this to? Now in colloquial language, people will say, who did I give this to? That's wrong. That mistake you're expected to catch now. Whom? Write down the sentence. Whom did I give this to? I gave this to him. Whom? Him. One way of testing whether it is whom or who is to flip the sentence and ask yourself, does an object come or does a subject come? I gave this to she or I gave this to her. If it's her, then it's whom. If it's him, it's whom, right? Possessive case. Possessive case is easy because you've done this since your childhood. So in his car, when I say his car or her car, I'll use his because there's an S over there. His car, and the book says Ram's car. Now please note, when this is a noun, to show possession, we use an apostrophe. But because this is a pronoun, what are pronouns? Words that come in place of nouns. Everyone knows that, right? Now, in case of a pronoun, when you're showing possession, there is no apostrophe. No apostrophe. This comma hanging in the air, this is an apostrophe, right? There is no apostrophe over here. So sometimes people, while writing letters, they write yours affectionately. ये गलत है. It will simply be yours sincerely, yours affectionately, right? So make that note that when you're showing possession in pronouns, you don't use apostrophe, but when you show possession in nouns, you use apostrophe. In fact, apostrophe, इसको apostrophe बोलते हैं. Apostrophe has two uses. Number one, to show possession for nouns. Number two, it comes in place of missing letters. Missing letters. Okay, Nayan, unmute. I haven't spoken to the online people at all today. Yes, Nayan, can you please unmute? Utsavi? Utsavi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So tell me, you'll answer this question, okay? It's raining and the dog has hurt its tail. Tell me, Utsavi, in which one shall I use the apostrophe? Both of them or one of them? And then which one? ITS or ITS? Where should I use the apostrophe?
In both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah.
How many people agree with Utsavi? Both of them, should I be using the apostrophe? No. No. Okay, at the back, who took off his specs? Both of them, no. Which one then? Only first one? Not this one? Correct. This one you use the apostrophe, this one you don't use the apostrophe. Can you explain? What's your name? No, but you're right. You're right. So you can explain. Some intuitively you know what the answer is, right? Tell me. It is raining. So that means it is coming in place of a missing letter. It's coming in place of I. I has been removed. In place of I, you're using the apostrophe. It is raining. And if I use, imagine language is, a lot of you do coding. A lot of you are familiar with coding. In coding, if one thing indicates two things, then that is confusing for the computer to understand. If it apostrophe S stands for it is, then it will be throughout it is or it has. It can't suddenly mean possession. So possession has to be a unique expression, na? Otherwise the computer will get confused, right? So ITS has no apostrophe. Otherwise we will read this as it is tail. That is confusing. So possession, again, the rule is consistent. His, no apostrophe. ITS, no apostrophe. Yours, no apostrophe. So pronouns to show possession, no apostrophe anywhere. But this is such a common mistake that when you're in a hurry, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, you're marking answers, फट से गलत हो जाता है. So guard against this mistake, right? Utsavi, did you understand the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One more thing about apostrophe. Please write down plural apostrophe. Plural apostrophe for words that end in S. Now this is you're in a department store. There are many sections, like if you go to G3. So this is the girls department in which you get girls' clothes. Where will the apostrophe be? You tell me. In the corner. आपको बोल रही हूँ. Where will the apostrophe be? Girls' department of stores. They have the department store, the clothes, huh? Before S, after S. After S, very good. Why? Because it's for plural. If I put it over here, then it will indicate only one girl. But I want to indicate many girls. So it has to be after the S. But now, if I change this, okay, and I write अब कहाँ आएगा apostrophe? After S, before S. Why? उसको बोलने दो. उसी को उसको आपका नेबर. हाँ, many plural है, men's तो plural है नहीं. So here it will be before S. Clear? Okay. Becomes vocative. They've given certain terms which I'll just make it simple for you. Indirect object. What is direct object? What is indirect object? Direct object is I gave her a pen. I is the subject. Okay. Gave is the verb. Her is what we call indirect object. You know, in active, passive, in a lot of other chapters, I will be using this concept. So please write this down. This is the direct object. And this is the indirect object. The person is the indirect object. The thing is the direct object. Okay. So now in dative case, they've said the case that serves as the indirect object of a verb is called the dative case. You don't need to learn this. As long as you know what is grammatically correct, you don't need to learn the terms. They will never ask you the terms in the exam. Vocative case, what I want you to notice in vocative cases, they've written Ravi, comma, come here now. When you're addressing someone, there has to be a comma after the person's name. That is to be learned. If the comma is not there, that's a mistake you have to catch. So Ravi, comma, come here. Okay. Some nouns always take a singular verb. This is related to the first chapter. Nouns that take singular verb. Singular subject takes singular verb, and articles like scissors, trousers, all of that will take plural verb. I've done this, I think yesterday or day before, this week itself, right? Listen to this. Scenery, advice, information, machinery, stationery. Machinery, stationery, furniture, equipment, all these are collective nouns. If they are collective nouns, they are considered by default to be one. All the machinery is broken, New furniture is needed. Furniture refers to many articles of furniture, but furniture taken as one whole. So furniture is needed. Machinery is needed. Equipment is broken. Is. Because collective noun is taken as one. Words that look as if they are plural, don't get fooled. Economics, maths, obviously they are singular. Rule number 2, some nouns are singular in form, but they are used as plural nouns and always take a plural verb. I'd mentioned this briefly, but now they've given the complete rule. Please mark this to be learned. You can mark it with an asterisk or something. Rule number 2, learn that list. Cattle, vermin, peasant, artillery, people, clergy, company, and police. Always plural. All these words are plural. Why? No answer. बस है. Learn कर लो. है ना? Rule number 3. This is the one I was referring to. Scissors, spectacles, etc. These are also always plural. Now please note goods. In this list they've given goods. The goods have arrived. Good तो नहीं बोलेंगे. नहीं तो वो अच्छा हो जाएगा. That will get confusing. So it's always used as goods. Right? Goods train. We use that as an adjective. Goods train. Aims, premises, thanks. Right? These are all plural. Some masculine nouns are used in the common gender. Common gender meaning they are meant to be, they refer to man and woman. No distinction is made. Some feminine nouns are used in the common gender. That means by default, you will use the feminine associated words for these words like duck, cow, bee, virgin, etc. Rule number 6, countable nouns, uncountable nouns. Countable nouns, I explained yesterday, those nouns that can be counted, which have a countable form. For example, pens, people, boys, girls, these are countable nouns. For them, we'll use many, few. And for uncountable nouns, you use much, little. The comparative form of little is less. I want less sugar in my tea. Less implying कल से कम चाहिए, है ना? Less, more than, higher degree than little. So much, little, less, these are for uncountable nouns.
When we say peasants, is it incorrect?
Peasants is correct.
So यहाँ पे if we take peasant as a plural,
Which question are you referring to? Two. See, what they are saying over here is if peasant is given to you, just the word peasant, you will treat it as plural. Peasants we know is plural. So we will obviously treat the S as plural. But what if the question says peasant? The peasant are missing.
a singular peasant would be.
Does not exist. Singular peasant is also are. So that is tricky because we would assume peasant is singular, referring to one, but no. Peasant is referring to all peasant, labor class, right? Use, acha, in this context, I'll forget later on. Please note, some comes in both the lists. Some counts for countable also. Some comes for uncountable also. And I also want to distinguish between, शायद बाद में आएगा लेकिन मैं पढ़ा देती हूँ, मुझे भी याद आया है. Few, a few, little, a little. What is the distinction? So when I say few students have come to class, I mean this is next to 0. That means almost none. Few or little is also same thing, next to none. But when I say a little or a few, what am I referring to? Please write this down. A little or a few refers to some. This has to be learned. Okay, a little or a few. I have little money in my bank and you ask me for a loan. Can I give you a loan? I can't. I don't have money. How can I give you a loan? But if I say I have a little money in my bank and you come to me asking for a loan, so I'll say, okay, I can give you some because I have some. Just the difference of an article changes the meaning of the sentence, right? They've given example, I watch less films, not possible because films can be counted. I watch few films. Next, rule number 7. Rule number 7 is very important. They've given the rule related to the words jury, team, committee. Remember yesterday I mentioned this, yesterday before, where some collective nouns can be used in the plural. Why? Because we are actually referring to the members and not just to the collective noun. Write down those of you who don't have the book, please write it down. The jury were divided over their opinion. The second sentence, the correct sentence. The jury were divided over their opinion. And below jury, write down jury members. In brackets, write down members. The trick to doing this question is you have to imagine that the sentence is referring not to the jury as a whole. It is not acting as one united body. It is actually pulling in different directions because they are divided in their opinions. If they're not functioning as one, why do we refer to them as one? We cannot. So you'll say the jury were divided. Imagine members, you'll get the answer. But this rule is applicable not for all collective nouns, only the ones specified over here. Jury, public, team, committee, government. You have to learn this. Audience, orchestra, ये रटना पड़ेगा. और ये rule दूसरे collective nouns को मत लगाना, please. You'll get confused. This is only for these specified ones. ठीक है? You can write down another example for team. The team are trying out their new jerseys. The team are trying out their new jerseys. Obviously, multiple team members, multiple jerseys, right? Rule number 8. This is, what are compound nouns? Compound nouns are nouns created out of hyphen. Mother in law. है ना? These are hyphens. It's a word like in army. We say commander in chief. Now, suppose I want to say these are the commander in chief's orders. Where will the apostrophe S come? Right? Okay. But suppose I want to say many mothers-in-law. बहुत अच्छी किस्मत है इसकी, बहुत सारी सास है. So where will I add S? Mother-in-laws. What do you decide on? Mothers-in-law. Mothers-in-law is correct. यहाँ पे mothers-in-law, brothers-in-law. So apostrophe will come here, but plural will come here. Yes. Chalo, we can do the exercise. Exercise 1. Start. 1 to 20. Why? You're taking team as one unit. The team as one unit is not ready, is what you assume. Team is not ready yet. It can be either. It can be either this one or that one, depending on the context. You need more context to decide. If the team members are not ready for different reasons of their own, if there's a disagreement, which is why they are not ready. Maybe they are fighting over something. Then it will be R.
If it is R, it has to be specified when we're talking about the team members.
Members is what I am asking you to imagine. They may not specify. You will have to imagine. But the idea that they disagree, the idea that they are not acting as one body, you need evidence for that. And you're right, there is no evidence over here. Maybe the entire team is not ready. Then team is not ready is fine. So it depends on the background. Are you doing the exercise? Don't discuss. क्यों? I am the one who's not well. चलो करो. चलो ठीक है. जाओ. छुट्टी. Bye. Homework. Exercise 1 homework. Tomorrow is Sunday. You will be getting more time. I will be giving more homework. Bye. Yes, students online. Utsavi, Yog, Nayan, any doubts? Zehan, Tanisha, Ridhima?
No, ma'am.
No doubts, ma'am.
No doubts? Okay. Please raise your hands and ask your doubts, because sometimes I forget to ask you specifically. Okay? Raise your hands and ask your doubts if there are doubts. I solved 42. Yeah. ठीक है. I'm ending the class now.